Hey guys, welcome to Thumper's Reviews. This is my first video review, so you might want to bear with me. Today I'm going to work on the KWA USA KZ-75, which is based off of the KZ-75. This, compared to the old Gen 1 KSC CZ-75, some things are a little different. One, you'll notice right off the bat, if you look at the other YouTube videos that are out there and the pictures, this doesn't have the really shiny plastic look, because this gun is almost all metal. The only thing I can find out that's plastic would be the polymer grips. They feel really good in the hand. It fits a little bit better than a 1911, and as you can see, it's got the bevel here for your hand. It's got a really good grip, really good profile, chrome trigger. The trigger guard is extended and a little bit bigger than you'll see in the 1911 series. But one thing I like, non-adjustable sights isn't a great. One thing I do like is anyone here who's got a 1911, when you take this, you're going to know you're safe. Notice your safety, red dot safe or unsafe, up and down. Fire it, but when you pull this back, pull your slide back, just like with your 1911s, you've got a button here. You're going to pull that back, push out your stop, pull out your pin. You have to, with this gun, pull the trigger. Once you pull the trigger, it goes right forward. Interestingly with this is how they've done your string. It's a short stroke. You don't have this long piece coming, this long metal rod coming out, the long strokes. It's a really short one. You can see the little hole in here. It's got a pin that once your spring goes back in the gun, and we're going to try this. This is my first time with field stripping it, so we're going to see how it works. The spring is not your typical airsoft spring. So you can't just go out and strip something from, say, the old Bells or some of the competitors and slap it in here. This is it's a flat spring rather than a rounded spring. That guide on there keeps it steady. It won't fall apart like some of the other guns. Something that's really nice is, as with all KWAs and the KSCs, when you get your gun forward, you have to use that tool to get in here and move your hop up. Now I haven't had to adjust the hop up yet because it came from the factory pretty true. A little odd note about all of the KZ-75s or KZ-75s from KWA. If I walk a little closer to the camera so you can see it, they all have US numbers, but they all have an individual serial number. So your pistol is not going to be exactly the same as anyone else's pistol. You might be missing trademarks, but the one thing you won't be missing is your own serial number. This does differ a little bit from your 1911s. With a 1911, your rail comes up. Your slide slides down onto the rail. So it's a raised rail. In the KZ-75s, your grooves are in the inside of the lower and on the rail system. So your gun actually, rather than resting on top, slides down lower and then fits on. The rail is actually in the bottom of the gun. That's going to help out here in a performance test, which we're about to do in just a moment as soon as I get this together. We'll put that together. It's that simple. For the firing test, what I've done is I've loaded up KSC .23 BBs because I had already exhausted the supply of BBs that KWA supplies with this. I did take the silicone oil out of this, and I've lubed up the rails and the mags. I find that the KSC BBs are really good quality BBs. It's just a personal preference of mine. Now what we're going to do is we'll pause this, we'll walk over to the range, and we'll see what happens. 25 feet. Okay, this is, I should point out, the new NS2 system. Now, I've seen KJWs, I've seen Bells, I've seen Tercels, Meisters, TMs, Western Arms, and I've owned all of them. And one of the things that I want to see is how this gun is going to perform in gangster mode. I have seen guys, and I'm sure everyone out here has seen somebody at some point, even if it's just one of your buddies in the backyard or in the basement. I've seen them try and do the gangster shooting with this. Now, I haven't had a lot of experience with the NS2 system because it is so new. And we're also going to see how well it's already fired off 20 shots. We're going to see just how well it holds up on just one charge of gas. Mag's in. We're going to hold it like the gangsters do, and okay, we get a hang fire. I'm looking at it now. Hammer tried to go forward. Slide just didn't want to. Didn't feed anything in. But as far as it functioning, crisp recoil. I'll go ahead and demonstrate. It doesn't seem to have any problems for rapid firing because we all have had to do it. Gas ran out. Let's check. That was user error. I didn't push the button. Now, like some of the other guns, when you pull this down, if you don't push the button, it won't feed them up. So now you get to see that even Thumper can make mistakes. We're using propane because I've long time learned that propane is the most damaging gun or gas to use on any gun. My thoughts were I wanted to put this gun through its paces. You guys don't want to lose your money. They don't want you to waste your money. The nice thing about it is this has been used nothing but propane in it yet, and I have had no leaks. Here we go again, and locks back fine. So it went through 25 rounds. I'm just now feeling some chill on the mags, and that's probably more from the rapid firing than it is from anything having to do with design of the gun. The NS2 systems, and I haven't got a chance to look at the old PTPs, the SIG PTP, the M9 PTP, which I would really like to get my hands on. I haven't had a chance to compare this to any of the other KWA products of the NS2 line. When I did compare it to my old KSC USP, I found that the USP was not as consistent. When I chronographed this the other day at a local airsoft field, first shot was 373 feet per second. The last shot out of the mag before the slide locked back was at 323 feet per second. So it is, as of today, this is the most consistent gas gun I have yet to fire off. One charge of gas, and you've now gone through 2 mags. I am feeling a lot more coolness on the mag, again, due to the rapid fire. As far as how this is performing, because you can't really adjust the sights, I'm noticing accuracy does seem to lack a little bit, but I think that has a lot more to do with I'm just not as familiar with the gun yet. For performance and function, I'm incredibly impressed by this gun. I've been dealing with gas guns, specifically gas blowback pistols and rifles, for several years now, having built several of them. Here we go again. Okay. We went through a half a mag, as you can see. So this, on one charge of gas, went through 2.5 mags. KWA, the one thing about them that should be noticed almost immediately, as opposed to anything that you get from China or Japan, is the manual. All of us have had manuals from guns that had, let's just put it this way, less than easy to read and understand directions. Since KWA USA is located in the City of Industry, California, everything in here is in English. They even cover this with a warranty, which is something that a lot of gas guns don't do. There's a lot of companies that don't do this. each one of these is specific to the model of gun that they release to you. They will tell you that the contents of this package are that particular model of the gun, the silicone oil, the magazine, a sample bag of BBs, the hop-up adjustment tool, and the operator's manual. It refers to it as the KZ-75 NS2 green gas system. This is something other companies don't do. If you're looking for an all-metal gun that's a little bit different from your M9s and 1911s that are out there now, the KZ-75, pound for pound, is definitely what I would recommend.